Yeah, I put in 10 years with this, and I think that's what's so crazy is because people are just now starting to notice me, but they don't know that I've been putting in work. Like my first picture on my Instagram, if you go back, I think 7 years or 8 years, is a picture of my son as a newborn.
Okay.
And he was the very first photo, and I was getting into photography and I was practicing on my children. So if you go way back, you'll see all of that. And then all the crazy watermarks, like from top to bottom, Kayleen Imagery, Kayleen Imagery.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow. Okay, 7, 8 years. We want to go back and look at that. How am experts doing? We're another Brands Experts podcast with a great guest that we have with us today, Amber Bogart. She's the owner of Kayleen Imagery. This is a great media brand that does so much different things with media, from film creation, photography. She's doing some amazing things out here in the Antelope Valley, Lancaster, Palmdale, California area, but also done things in different states. Owns multiple brands like the ReDiscover campaign, which we'll have another episode where we can get all the way into that. Right, they have a yearly event that they do, some really incredible things. But she's going to introduce herself and let her know exactly what she does in the media industry.
Yes, my name is Amber Bogart. I'm a professional photographer. I started out doing photography, mostly portraits, and now I'm getting more into the realm of videography and content creation for my brand and also for other brands and businesses within the Antelope Valley. So I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Thank you for what you're doing with that. You know, like I try to tell as many of these local brands that are out here in the Antelope Valley, thank you for that, because you could have done your brand anywhere you wanted to. You could have done it closer to Los Angeles, bigger city. You could have done, like you said, any big city you want to choose, but you chose Antelope Valley to uplift this Antelope Valley and to work with brands that need your help, that need professional level videography, photography, media creation, social media work. You're doing all that, and just thank you for doing this here and believing in these brands here that need an expert like yourself, because there's not much media experts that go on location and really help the brands out. So I really want to thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
And also I want to thank Top Shelf Financial and Top Shelf 17 for creating a platform for us to meet. We met at the photo shoot for Top Shelf 17 for the fashion show that happened in New York that you were part of. You went out there to New York, able to capture the content out there, which was great. So if you guys have a chance, check her Instagram out so you can see the content. What's the name of your Instagram?
My Instagram is Kayleen_Imagery.
Okay, so make sure you go check that out. Her work is really next level. Every time I see it, the transitions on reels, the quality on the photography, it's really incredible. You're really gonna love it. Just gives you another perspective of an expert's levels work in the film and the videography industry. Right. Okay, so let's get into the first part. What is your position at Kayleen Imagery? Excuse me.
So it's a one-woman show at Kayleen Imagery. So I'm the photographer, I'm the creator, I'm the owner. I do everything. So anything that my business needs, I take care of it. So I'm everything in Kayleen Imagery.
Okay. And are you looking to build out as time goes on, like hire other experts and, eventually be in like a full CEO position where you're traveling, meeting with different brands and businesses, but also still able to take care of your home area, the Antelope Valley? So are you looking to build your team out as time goes on?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, I would really like to start with an assistant and helping me like on set or on location with different businesses and brands. That would really be a help to me, because right now I'm operating like 3 cameras by myself.
Right.
And I'm doing all the editing, and I'm trying to make sure that my calendar is straight, and I'm still a mother and a wife, and I'm trying to handle everything. So an assistant is what I would start out with for sure.
Okay.
And then eventually I would love to see Kayleen Imagery bloom and grow into something a lot bigger.
Right. Well, it's going to be one of the biggest media brands, period. Not just out here in the Antelope Valley, but just period, because you have done work in other states and other areas as well, other industries. So we want to see this thing go crazy, right? And you being the face of it, you investing into it. We want to see that happen.
Okay.
Because you deserve that. the work you've been putting
Well, I
in.
appreciate that.
Yeah, been into it like you were telling me over 10 years.
Yeah, I put in 10 years with this, and I think that's what's so crazy is because people are just now starting to notice me, but they don't know that I've been putting in work. Like my first picture on my Instagram, if you go back, I think 7 years or 8 years, is a picture of my son as a newborn.
Okay.
And he was the very first photo, and I was getting into photography and I was practicing on my children. So if you go way back, you'll see all of that. And then all the crazy watermarks, like from top to bottom, Kayleen Imagery.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow. Okay, 7, 8 years. We want to go back and look at that. So like I have not seen that. Now I want to go look at it because now you just sparked that thought in my head. Like, what did the beginning look like? Right? It's so incredible. Like as we continue to do other episodes with this, like what did these early episodes look like? Like what were they talking about? You know, what equipment did they have? So we're able to do episodes in the future, right? To talk about and look back at. That's going to be great. But to also know that you remember what your first photo was, just shows how sharp you are and how much additional detail that you put into your work. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Yes. I'm telling you, if you go to my Instagram page, I have about 800 posts,
right?
And I haven't deleted any of them because I wanted to see the transformation from when I started, and you can see the evolution of what my page looked like through all of those years.
Okay. So this is a part that we love with this because everybody has a different story, but it's good to kind of get a little bit of background about the expert that we're talking to. So if you could provide us with a little bit of your background, where you're from, and what your upbringing is like, and how you got into this industry.
Okay, hold on. Whew. Let's see. Well, I'm from here. I'm from the Antelope Valley, like born and raised, basically.
Okay.
Even though my parents did bounce around, like from the valley back to Lancaster and Palmdale, this is kind of where I grew up.
Okay.
I started in high school, so I took my first digital photography class.
What high school is it?
Eastside High School.
In Lancaster? Okay, shout out Eastside High School.
Yeah, right? First graduating class.
Wow, what year?
2009.
2009.
I just went there today because I was inducted into the Hall of Fame for my photography.
Really?
Okay. So I'm one of the first 5, and I went to go check it out today, actually, and I saw my plaque on the wall.
Look at that.
So yeah.
Okay. So hopefully we can eventually, like you said, she's gonna be a big ambassador for Eastside High School, right? In the Hall of Fame, right? A lot of people can't say they're in the Hall of Fame anywhere. We got a Hall of Famer right here. So as she continues to advance in everything she's doing, we of course want to go check out the plaque, see some of the work that she's done there, because you know what a great piece that is. But go ahead, continue.
Yes. So my shout out to my high school photography teacher, Mr. Patterson, because he's the one who told me, Amber, you have an eye for photography. And he actually gave me my first paid job in high school. One of his friends, his daughter, who was like maybe 10 years old, needed headshots. Okay. And I took those on the Eastside campus. And I think he paid me like $50 maybe. So that was my first paid job. And I have some pictures in the yearbooks, you know, of me doing my work. And then after that, I forgot about it. So...
Wow.
I was like, okay, whatever. Because, you know, when people see potential in you before you see potential in yourself, it's like, whatever. I ended up moving to Massachusetts for a little while. You know, that's like deeper family problems. But while I was out there, I was trying to go to an art school for film. But I couldn't, nobody would back me financially. So I couldn't go. Forgot about it again. I came back to California. And I started working at Picture People. It's a mall. It's inside the mall, a photo studio. No, it's a Valencia.
Oh, Valencia. Okay. Is it still there?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Picture People. Okay.
Picture People. It's retail studio, so that means you could pay $30, come get your pictures, and you gotta leave with a package. They print on demand, and I fell in love. That's where I fell in love with photography. Yep. And then I started working at JCPenney. I worked at Walmart. Like I worked at all the portrait studios out here in the Antelope Valley at one point.
You were doing the portraits there? Like family? Wow.
But I didn't like the way that those corporations ran because they're like, we don't care if the people like their pictures. We don't care if the baby's crying. they got 20 minutes in and out, and then you still got to try to sell the highest package to them. And I didn't like that the way that they treated people, because I get joy from when I take a picture of somebody and they fall in love with it because they genuinely love it. So that's when I created Kayleen Imagery.
Wow. So what year is this?
Oh my gosh. 2011, 2012 maybe. Yeah, so way back then, I was in my room. I remember writing different names down in a notebook, like what sounds good, what sounds good, what sounds good. And I chose Kayleen Imagery. One, because my great grandma Kay, that was her name,
Wow.
and my middle name is Kathleen.
Wow.
And I just combined those two. So it's kind of paying homage to my great grandma and my middle name at the same time. So Kayleen Imagery was born.
Okay, so what a great story. You know, stuff I didn't even know. I didn't know she lived in Massachusetts. I didn't know about the different places she worked in all the photo studios out here. And the fact that she's honest to say that she didn't like how these corporations were run was really great, because most people are not going to be honest like that. They're just going to say, I worked here and that's it. But she took it a step further and said, stuff that she didn't like and things she wanted to change in this industry. So, when she has her first full service studio, how it's going to be run, we want to be there when it opens and just appreciate it, because she's already working out of a studio. What's the name of the studio, by the way?
Collective Moments.
Okay.
Yes, so I rent with a few other photographers out here in the Antelope Valley, and they're wonderful photographers as well. But it's a beautiful space that I can just bring my clients to, a beautiful professional space, and I love it.
All right, so like you say, and then we actually did the hold on, it was the Top Shelf 17, right? We did the podcast with Josh Martell, right? Shout out Josh. He's a great clothing designer. He has a clothing brand, right? Top Shelf 17. So we did that there. It was incredible. She was there. She caught a lot of the behind the scenes, right? It was great that that was happening. She was there capturing all those moments. So what a great time that was. And I'm pretty sure we'll be back there to capture some more stuff. And like I said, hopefully maybe shoot an episode there. I think it will be important for us to do that, because as she grows and builds her brand out, multiple locations, a lot of different things going, to kind of see the start where she was doing a lot of her work. And kind of she can reflect on different projects that happened there. We want to definitely be there to do that, if that would be okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, for sure. All right, so let's get into the next piece. Who were two mentors that helped you become an expert in the media industry?
So, two of them. So when I tried to go, because I tried to go to another art school when I became an adult after I had two kids as well.
Yeah.
I got accepted. I was all ready to go, but life happens. So that's when I went to go work with my husband. So we became partners and we had to work because we had to provide for our family. But around that same time in 2016, as I was online, I came across a photographer. Her name is Sue Bryce, and she has a platform just for photographers for learning. So I subscribed to her monthly plan, and she has it laid out how to run a photography business, how to take portraits, lighting, setup, everything. So it's a big shout out to Sue Bryce. She doesn't know who I am.
She will.
She will.
She will.
But she helped me and she pushed me and she gave me the tools that I needed to be successful. Even if it didn't matter how fast I got to the success that I wanted to get to, I didn't have to go to traditional school, and that's what I was kind of sad about at the time. But I was able to build my skills and learn at the same time. So Sue Bryce Education, and they just changed it to the portrait system.
Okay.
Because she sold it. That's how big it got. It grew because I think she started back then. Yeah.
So okay. And while we're here, then, because I don't want to forget. So do you have another?
I was gonna say maybe Lindsay Adler too.
Okay.
She's a fashion photographer.
Do you know her?
I don't know her.
Okay.
I just saw her YouTube videos. I watched a lot of YouTube and I did a lot of online learning. Yeah, so to build my skill, because I had no other choice. But so Lindsay Adler and Sue Bryce, those were my biggest inspirations, and I learned a lot from them.
Okay. Is this something that you want to, is the plan to hold on to this forever? Is that how you see it going? Because there is some emotional attachment, like you said, your great grandmother, your middle name, and you stuck with this for so long. So blood, sweat, and tears, like literally emotions, kind of going through the motions of maybe not thinking it was working, seeing it work, going back and forth, but actually now from your biggest year, 2022, to now, is it like something you want to hold on to forever? Is that how you see it?
I do see it as that because it's like, if you know my photography, you know Kayleen Imagery.
Okay. Right.
So, and I don't know if I want to turn it into my nonprofit name eventually for the ReDiscover campaign, or keep it as, a portrait business or media business. But I definitely do want to keep it.
All right. No, okay. No, for sure. And I think just personally, I think there's so much different directions you can go with a nonprofit, but I see so much areas for profit with this, because I think you can do something else with nonprofit, but this, I mean, I just see so many different directions you can go in with the media, because I mean, you're so gifted, and then like the profits, you deserve the profits, you and your family. So if huge organizations like the NFL, the NBA, or BT, MTV, VH1 came to you and said, "Hey, we want you to do something, like go get what you worth." Go, I don't want them to say, "Well, it's a nonprofit, so we were thinking something different." No, go get what you worth. Because I mean, most definitely the quality. Let me tell you, the quality. She did some behind the scenes work, and I was like, "Wow, look at the quality with this." I didn't know she was taking the pictures, but I was like, "Yeah, okay." Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything was looking good, and I was like, she captured these, and I didn't even know she was doing that. She sent it to me, and that sparked my mind. So I'm gonna look at the rest of her work and see what she's doing. And by far, like, if you work with her right now, wherever your prices are, you're getting a deal, right? You are getting an incredible deal. So just know this is like up there. Quality is really up there. The tools that she uses, I mean, definitely great tools as far as the equipment, from Canon to Sony, the high level stuff, able to shoot in 4K. I mean, from video quality to picture quality, she has it. So, hold on to this one. This is it. You already got some good clients already that, it's good to see you working with them, because it doesn't even look like clients, it looks like family. And that's when you're onto something special. When it's like, okay, this is like family right here. So yeah, you're doing great with this.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and shout out to her mentors that you helped it keep going when it was tough. And we can't stress how much importance we have to put on that, because when it gets tough, being an entrepreneur, it's harder than you think it is, because there may be years and months with no money, and that hurts a lot, because we have to keep the lights on, we have to eat every day, we have to continue to take care of our families, and when there's no money coming in, I mean, gosh, it hurts. It's a different kind of pain when you know you deserve it, or someone said they were gonna pay $1,000 for something, and we're thinking that money coming in, and they call us the day before, or we go somewhere, they're not there. I mean, in this business, the pain that can create. We've all been there. We all have those stories, but you kept going, right? And that's what led to the incredible year that you had last year, and it's carrying over to incredible start to 2023. So we want to keep that rolling, keep the great relationships she's building, and you're being a mentor for some other people in the industry, and that want to get in this industry, and you might not even know it, but you've probably already been told that.
I don't know. I gotta think
about it. Especially with the ReDiscover campaign.
Oh yeah.
How you helping women with that, right? And we're really looking forward to that episode. So really kind of put that on your calendars when we announce that we're doing that, because it's coming. Because what she's doing with that is really incredible. If you can give a brief introduction of what that is to people that don't know, kind of, because we're talking about it a lot. Obviously, they don't know. So if you can kind of let people know what that is, and kind of some of your ideas, that like where you want to take that.
Yeah, so I came up with the ReDiscover campaign because I wanted, it was a lot. See, I don't want to get into all that until we film for it. But basically, I came up with a campaign called ReDiscover, a journey of self-love and transformation for women. And it's based on women just telling their story of what they've been through, perseverance, their testimonies, how they've overcome. And a lot of these women own their own nonprofits just based on what they've been through. So they're helping other women themselves, or businesses that are align with, what they've been through. And I just wanted to highlight and share those women's stories.
Okay, so it's going to be something that's going to be worldwide. We see it, right? U.S. be ready, world be ready, because it's something special. A lot of media she's doing with that too. Seeing a lot of the interviews that she's done with these women has been really incredible. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming. She already had the last year's event. This year's event is coming in what month?
In July.
In July 2023. She's shutting it down. So definitely look out. Be on the lookout for that. When you're going on her page, she's going to obviously keep the community updated on what's going on. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Thank you for what you're doing for women.
Yep.
Women need their voice heard. Women need just as much opportunity as men. We're all people. You kind of closing that gap with equality is very important. So I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Very important, right? Let's get to the next piece. And that is, do you develop the programs for Kayleen Imagery? Like as far as like the packages and kind of different shoots and that kind of stuff. Were you coming up with the stuff by yourself?
Yes. So I have like my basic packages that I give out to all my clients. And then of course I do work with, custom made plans based on what businesses and brands need. So it just really depends. But I do have my basic pricing that I give out to everybody.
Okay, for sure. It's good that you came up with that to know, you say, okay, this is how I want this to go. Because some people, just have someone else do it and then they're not happy with it. Sometimes they are, but a lot of times they're not because what works for you. What you're rescheduling, kind of getting clients on the same page with what you're trying to do. Of course, with you doing it for this long too, a lot of different trial and error for sure.
And I noticed when I give my client full control, I'm coming in more as the help. And they don't value me as much. But if I come in and I tell them, okay, no, this is what I'm going to do, and it's more of a collaborative effort, then they see my value and I can bring the value in that way. So that's why I've kind of changed it. I'm like, I'm not good giving full control anymore.
Right. No, for sure. That is important to know kind of the level you want to provide for your clients to where it's at a space where you feel comfortable. Okay. So the next piece we want to get into is, what was a moment when you knew you wanted to have your own media brand and business?
I would say the moment that I realized I didn't like the way the retail studios were run. Because I could probably have worked there forever, just because I loved just being around people and making them smile and capturing those moments for people. But it was I knew that I wanted to grow.
Okay.
So I was like, and I'm making what, $8 an hour, and they're selling $500, $1,000, $1,200 packages.
So you didn't get no commission? Sad.
So I'm like, why not price that myself? And so I created my own.
There we go. So you get what you deserve. People don't know how important it is to make sure you get what you deserve. Like, a lot of jobs, like you said, $8 an hour. If you was to go in there and tell them, I believe that I could put a strategy together and I can make $250,000, you guys can make $4 million. They would have looked at her like, that's not what we're doing, because if she makes that much and then the next year she probably leaves, they don't like that. And I think that's unfortunate, because if she makes, $100,000, like, what's wrong with over delivering to your employees? Nothing. But what did it lead to? She's going to be able to do 10 times 100,000 herself, and with a smile on her face, help her family out and create a better opportunity. Because these corporations were greedy, now she's going to do it, and they're going to be in the community, like trying to see what she's doing over here and how is she connecting with all these brands and businesses and creating this magic out here. So, wow, what a great story, because I didn't know exactly what the moment was, but the moment you seen it wasn't going how it should be, I can do this. And you did it.
And I've always had the heart of an entrepreneur. Okay. So
right. No, I mean,
I tried so many different things to make money. And I would always be like, let me make a lot of money somewhere and then put it all into my photography. And then one day, actually like 2 years ago, I was like, Amber, why not just put everything into your photography? Yeah. So it was that moment too, Yeah.
Well, you did it. Here we are talking about it. So what we're going to get into, next is the history of the brand, right? Some great stuff, right? When it was launched, what was the idea behind the name, which she gave us a lot of that, but if there's any deeper piece to it that she's kind of seen over time, what makes Kayleen Imagery unique as a brand, all that good stuff. So that's what's coming up next. Look out for it. Great piece of this, so stay tuned. Okay, so what we're getting into, right, is the history of the brand, right? These are important pieces, a lot of things that people don't know about brands. You're gonna learn it right now with Kayleen Imagery. We're gonna get into the first piece of the history of the brand, and that is, when was the brand launched? If you can give us a year and a month. If you don't know the month or year, it's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so I think 2012 is when I came up with the name, and I ran straight to the bank and straight to get my doing business as. I got a whole business bank account. I wasn't even making any money, but I ran and did all of that. And then of course I had to let it all go because I'm like, I'm not making any money, so why do I need a bank
Did you get all that going?
Yes.
There we go.
And so I actually got an office or a studio space back in 2020 in March. And I filed for like a business license. And then, about 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, a pandemic hit. And I had put a deposit on that studio space and everything. And he didn't even give me half of the money back. So
you never moved in?
I did one shoot there, like senior portraits. I did it with the door open. I got some natural light in there, but I didn't have any of my equipment in there. And then I was like, forget it. And then I left it. So I would say 2020 is when I became more official. But then at the same time, everything slowed down because we had to be home to ourselves. So.
Wow. Okay. So hearing that, it's kind of a two-part question. You got 2012, and then you have 2020. Wow. What a time difference, and how much things you learned in between there. But here you are, 2023. You went through all that. Just you made it. You made it through.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. Incredible. 2012 was a very significant year, in 2020 as well. Both very significant years. If I go back and look at it, because I was in the military. That was the year I came back out here from Colorado. So that's what makes that very significant, because I had a lot of figuring out to do. 2020, we know about that.
Yep.
That was challenging for everybody in a lot of different ways. No one's ever seen the world like that. There was a year I also officially launched the business consulting firm, Champions Playbook. So that was the year that happened too.
Okay.
So, tied in like that. So. All right. What was the full idea behind the name of the brand? I know you went into it a little bit, but if you can, if there's any more to it.
No, I think that was just it. When I was thinking about using a name for my photography, because a lot of photographers use their own name, and that would have been easy. That was before I got married, so my name was Amber Stewart.
Okay. Well, didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, so it was Amber Stewart, and I was like, Amber Stewart Photography. But then when you Google that, it's so many people pop up.
Really? It's a lot of Amber Stewart.
A lot of Amber Stewart. So I'm just like, that's not going to work. And I was like, Amber's Photography. And then I was like, Amber's Imagery. But then, so I really was just trying to come up with a name. I don't know if I still have that notebook, but I wrote so many different names in there. But I just had to think about my grandma Kay, because that was my great grandma. And I always just wanted to pay homage to her name. I don't know why. It's just something inside of me. And she loved to cook. So I went to school for culinary arts. This is kind of off subject, but I went to school for culinary arts for a small time. Yeah. And I was going to do Kay's Kitchen, But I'm like, no, I didn't want to cook. So, but doing my photography business, which is my passion, that's where I combined my grandma Kay's name and my middle name, Kayleen Imagery. And I wanted to use imagery because that was different, because I didn't know if I was going to stay in the realm of just photography. Okay. So I decided to use imagery. So yeah, that's the name.
Okay, so we got more details with that. Wow, Kayleen Imagery, love it. So not Amber Stewart, Amber Bogard, Imagery, Kayleen Imagery.
Yes.
How unique that is, right? Never heard anything like that. Okay, this is one of our favorite things that we like to learn about brands, right? Because there's so many different media companies, but you know, it could be 10 different media companies, right? But, you know, what makes this like, why'd you go with them? What makes them unique, right? That's why you know, ultimately pick somebody to go with, right? Because what makes them unique, you liked it to the point where you wanted to rock with them. So, what makes Kayleen Imagery unique as a brand?
I think because that's kind of hard because you know a lot of people can pick up a camera or a phone and a lot of people do and they're very successful doing their own thing. But I think what makes Kayleen Imagery different is my passion behind it. Like I really love what I do. I make my clients feel very comfortable. That's what I've heard. Like when they're in front of the camera, especially people who don't get in front of the camera often. Once I start snapping away and I'm having fun with them and I show them a picture of themselves, um, a lot of the feedback that I get is like, Amber, you made me feel really comfortable, you know, and that's what I love to hear. And we just have fun. So I think it's more of that, like you said, kind of like that family feeling that even if we just met, by the time the shoot is over, we're like laughing and hugging and, you know,
Like family.
having a good old time. So I think that's what makes it different is just the experience that I can provide as, you know, your content creator.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That comfortability that you're creating for your clients. And also, I would say something else that makes your brand unique is your attention to details. You know, like kind of make sure your angles are straight. Kind of processing this all simultaneously, which is great. I've seen it when we were doing a photo shoot. You already have a vision how you want it to come out, and you're also making adjustments on the fly to your camera to kind of how you need people to be, what is going to be the best presentation. Kind of looking forward as you're creating these things, right? So that attention to detail that you put into your projects are really special.
Oh, I appreciate that because I'm like, when I think of a vision or I see it in my head beforehand, I'm like, I really try to make it happen.
Right.
So thank you. I appreciate that.
I see that. And also comfort too. That's why I was so, you know, we set this one up. We were talking about it, but we set this one up maybe 3 hours before right now. So, I mean, but hey, like I'm comfortable around her and her brand. And like it's proof because of, like as you see it, right? She's laughing and stuff. Like she has a video where she's doing the same thing with Talk Show. Oh my God, great video though. Get on her Instagram, check that out. And she is just in her bag and she is just having a good time. And she created a great video because I didn't even know she was doing all that in that video. Right, because I see the video, but it was just everybody was having a great time. So,
yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, you know, she definitely makes people feel comfortable, her clients and her customers. So just know when you work with her, I mean, you're gonna feel comfortable and a lot of attention to details is gonna be paid to. So know that if something's not right, she's gonna tell you beforehand. Make sure you look your best. Okay. What was the toughest thing that the brand had to overcome to get to the level you're at now?
I would say just keep pushing through, like just overcoming like all these years of not paid work, if that makes sense, and putting myself out there. Like when I looked back, I didn't realize I was networking because I didn't consider it networking. Right. I was just reaching out to people like, you want to shoot? 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 And that's literally how I built a lot of my portfolio. And then when you don't see any return on that, that's really hard. And so I would put my camera down a lot of the time. Or just for instance, a couple years ago, I was literally working 2 jobs, but still investing into my photography business. So I guess just looking good, but not having like the financial backings of it. Right. And now my work is really starting to pay off. So overcoming all the years of the hard work and not giving up was what that was for me.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad you didn't give up. You right here. You right here.
Yeah.
Right? And you have clients now that, you know, you guys are on long-term working relationships that you built. So shout out to the clients that she has and the project that she is working on to get towards that position.
Absolutely.
Because she did a lot of that free work. We call it, you know, something I've learned to call it is build the house first, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think the money comes, like jobs trick you and think you're going to get paid first. But that's so they can pay you a little bit. But with you're building your own brand and your business, a lot of times you're gonna have to pay first, build the house so people can come live in it. It's a very confusing thing to learn, but once you learn it, then it's easier to go execute. Okay, let me build this, put this over here, do this. It's gonna take time, but once you learn that, and then people will easily come. Oh, okay, this is gonna be 500. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, and then you go back and you say, wow, it took me 3 months on time to get 500. Or, 5,000. You're like, wow, that in a day, I can't believe that. But it's because you built the house, and you built your house, Kayleen Imagery, and then now you're working out of a studio. Now you have clients. Now you're traveling. All this stuff is coming because you didn't give up.
Yep.
All right. And so thank you for not giving up, and just staying with it and building it.
Yes.
Okay. What did you learn in going through that will help your brand in the future?
I think that would just show me that, like now it's going really good, but I know in the future, if anything were to come up that would be difficult, I wouldn't give up. I would just fight through that. So it just showed me to just keep pushing through, and I already seen the success of it, and I can't be worried about, what's not happening at the moment. So I think just overcoming and the perseverance, that's really, it's giving me that strength to just keep going no matter what.
Okay, for sure. Hey, that's why you're here. You didn't stop. You did not stop. It gets so hard.
It really does.
We have very similar businesses, and it gets hard because sometimes there's no money in it. And it's like, why? Where's the money at? I got bills. I got life. I got to eat, food on the table. I'm here all day. But just like when you went to New York, like you had to invest a lot into that, that project and that adventure, but you met new people who were seeing your great work. And I'm going to call that now. You're going to be back there because of that project, on a bigger project, because of this project, because of something you already did. So from you investing into it, someone's going to remember the work you did, hit you up, make an incredible offer. You're going to accept that offer, and you're going to be like, is this real? Does this even make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Because you did that. Because you invested in it, you believed in it, and your brand was built up enough. So when they went to your page, they seen your website, they seen your content, they're blown away, and they said, okay, we need her to do our stuff. So let's make the investment. Let's bring her back from California.
That's one thing I do believe in, is everything happens for a reason. Because if I would have went to New York maybe let's say 5 or 6 years ago, I don't think that I would have had the confidence that I have now when I pick up a camera. I don't even have to be showy about what I'm doing. I just have the confidence to know that wherever I'm going and what I'm going to shoot, I'm going to get something really good out of it. So I think that helped me. And also, like you said, when you go to my page, it looks really good now. It presents well. So I built that much more work on there that people can see. So,
all right, because you built the house. That was a house you built. Sure, I love that term because it's just proof. They go there to see this house you built. Now they want to, they want to rent it, right? Because you built it. So that's the proof. Okay, so let's get into the next piece. If a brand or someone wants to partner with Kayleen Imagery, how do they get involved, and what brands are you looking to partner with? Right?
Okay. So I would love to work with other women entrepreneurs, any kind of business brand that they have. I really want to get more into the health and wellness aspect of that, wholeness, I guess. So anybody wanting to do podcasts, video podcasts, or, just shoot content on a regular basis. And then also, of course, the Women for the ReDiscover campaign, anybody who wants to tell their story. But they can reach out to me on my Instagram or on my website, which is www.kayleenImagery.info.
Okay. All right. So there we go. The email, right? That's the email, or
that's the website.
Okay. Oh, that's the website. Okay. So she put it out there. That's the website. So go there if you want to partner with her. And are you more looking for long-term or short-term, or it just more so depends?
I think it just depends on what the brand needs, because I don't mind doing one and done or shooting a lot of content at one time or doing on a monthly basis. I'm really flexible with different packages for businesses.
Okay. If there was like an event or a brand that you would say, okay, if I can get there, that's a good space to get to. Do you have one in mind, like kind of like a goal set, like for something that happens, like you know, New Year's Day parade, or whatever it may be, just something that that does happen that you want to be a part of.
I can't think of anything right now, but the way that I see my ReDiscover campaign growing is um, I see that turning into something more than just photography and telling women's stories. I actually see like women's retreats and us going places and having our own big festivals or, get-togethers, conferences, that type of thing. So that's my goal as far as being the creative behind my brand.
Okay, for sure. Have you ever heard of Black Girls Rock? Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be into, like, if they wanted to connect with you,
Mm-hmm.
would that be like a brand you could? Because that's kind of like an alignment that I see.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they see your work, and like, wow, like let's partner with her, see what she can do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of lane I see. Kind of if I see like a big brand, because they have their award show that they do every year. That being your background as well,
Mm-hmm.
it just is a great alignment.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it's good. It's just good to put a goal out there and say, I can get there.
Yep.
That's something I do in my head too. I put a goal out there just to kind of push myself to kind of say I can get to that level. It may be challenging, it may be difficult, but it definitely is worth it, and it's worth pushing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Is there any new offerings in the next 6 to 12 months that Kayleen Imagery will be offering?
As far as right now, my brain is like on overload with all the new opportunities coming my way. But I would love to start a subscription based package because you gave me that suggestion and I'm very grateful for that. So that's what I've really been thinking about. I'm like, okay, how can I make this work and make it affordable and make it appealing and make it attractive to potential clients? So that is one thing that I'm definitely plan on working on.
There we go. That would really be great because with you working with a lot of brands one-on-one, it makes it difficult because you can't be in two places at once.
Yeah.
But if you do have the subscription and say you could offer so much different great things like, hey, I'm going to be in the office tomorrow and I'm going to be offering headshots to any subscription members from 12 to 1. Make sure you book within the next 6 hours. And, we'll let you know when the bookings are full. So what that does is that provides service. So let's say it's $150 a month. Well, now they've gotten 12 headshots that may have been more than that. But since they got the membership, and since you're going to be there, you're like, no, let me over deliver to my subscribers.
Yep.
So it's just a position to you able to over deliver and provide these incredible opportunities, because there's so many opportunities with models that always need photos and videos.
Yeah.
With businesses that always need photos and videos. You can put different subscription levels for somebody who needs higher stuff, especially for local brands and businesses. Say, wow, okay, we're local. She's offering us something monthly. We're always going to be ready with what she has to offer. And of course, like you said, the house is built. They see the the high level product. So we're looking forward to that. So
yes.
When she launches that, when we do the next episode, hopefully we'll be at the point where we can talk about that and go over that because it's just so incredible, for sure. Because you'll be able to get so much more for your money. So there's nothing wrong with that. Somebody wants to over deliver to their people, and thank you for remembering that we did go over that. And want to incorporate that into your business.
That's something I've been thinking about ever since you talked about it. So
we're gonna call it the elite package.
Yep.
That's what we're gonna call it. There we go. We're all gonna be tied in. So we're gonna go over this testimonial area. I think that it has to get to this point because, like I say, such a powerful conversation. Such a great full media brand that we're able to discuss. But we all have lives to live, clients to get to, family to get back to. But after we do this piece, we'll get into the VIP side of it. And then, like I said, she'll let you know where to find her online, stuff she's doing in the near future. And we'll go forward like that. So let's get into this piece. What did you enjoy about being on this podcast?
I really like the questions that you had in mind already. and you like you said, it's more conversational, so you made me feel very comfortable. And because I like to be behind the camera, so
Okay, no, for sure. All right, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that you did feel comfortable, because that puts you in a position to come back.
Yeah.
Her past brand goes crazy and bigger. Why would we not want to be a part of that? All right. Okay. Let's see. Would you recommend other brand owners and experts that work inside of brands come on this podcast?
Yes, absolutely. I think that it's good to just talk out what you're actually doing, because sometimes we get so caught up in the stuff that we're doing that we don't reflect on what we're actually accomplishing, and that other people are recognizing that. So I would definitely say get on the podcast and talk about yourself a little bit.
There we go. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like filming this podcast has made you and your brand more comfortable with getting on other podcasts in the future?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. No, because you're going to be doing more as your brand grows and gets bigger. There's the Earn Your Leisures, there's the Drink Champs, there's these incredible platforms
Mm-hmm.
that need to know about great opportunities, great woman-owned businesses like yours. The story of how you bet on yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people have never bet on themselves. They're sitting there. Someone's sitting here right now working at Target, which nothing wrong if you're working at Target. But in the back of their head, they have a camera. Everybody likes what they're doing, and they're like, "Look at her." They go look at your stuff. They said, "She has a full business. Why can't I do it?" And seeing you could spark that, ingenuity and moment to where it's like, "Let's go."
Mm-hmm.
And so, we're just so glad that you feel comfortable, because we want to see you get out there, get in front of the camera more.
Yeah.
Right? And, take it to that level. All right. Will Kayleen Imagery be coming back on the Brands Experts podcast?
Yes, as long as you'll have me.
For sure. No, definitely going to have you back on. And thank you for that, for feeling, like you enjoyed it to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a brand that we don't know that you would recommend that, we get to know and invite onto this podcast?
Like I said earlier, I'm a part of a nonprofit called Gifted. It's called Gifted Arts and Activism. I think you would really enjoy speaking to Allende, who is the founder, and he focuses on everything Black.
Wow, okay.
So that's his goal, is to help the community and bring resources to the Black community. So
okay, what's the name of it again?
It's called Gifted Arts and Activism.
Okay, Gifted Arts and Activism. We're gonna look forward to meeting them through Amber, right? And thank you for letting us know about them. We really look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, like to thank Kayleen Imagery for joining our community of brand experts and coming on this interview. If you would like to let the community know where to find you online.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at Kayleen_Imagery, and of course my website, which I already kind of gave you, but www.KayleenImagery.info.
Cool. Okay, so last week we're going to go over some VIP stuff for our marketing group and our Brand Experts Podcast Club, some VIP stuff. This is our membership area where we over deliver to our clients. This is something that we want all podcasts to start doing, because the podcast is great, but it's like, that stuff that you learn is very important, but it's like, well, how do we market and how do we make money with this and how do we build a community? These are all things that we need to know, and you need to take it serious enough to make a community. And so how do you do that kind of stuff? Well, Kayleen Imagery already knows how to do that. She already has a community. She knows how to create a strategy behind her content and things like that. So we're going to get into that next. So stay tuned for that. And just like to thank you guys for coming on the General Podcast, because she did incredible. I'm really looking forward to this coming out in future episodes, and also working with her on projects, because her work is at that level that, we can only be in one place at one time. So, we want to work with her. So we just want to thank you for coming on, and make sure you be on the lookout for VIP stuff.
Thank you.
All right.
Woo! No.